online moneymakers. This is Michelle Brubaker coming to you with Jason Narog. This is going to be a great interview because you're going to find out how to do coaching, how to do training with Google. And that's a free tool. So that's a really great thing to learn, especially if you're getting started and you don't need to invest a lot of money up front. What's also great is that you can do this all over the world, all over everywhere. So many people have Google, right? I mean, who doesn't have Google? I mean, so many of us do, and it's very easy to do. It's free. And most people think you have to be at a gym for a personal trainer or for health or fitness or anything like that. But Jason here has been doing this just virtually. Now, we are perfectly positioned for this right now. Seriously, anything that is virtual or that's online, this is the key thing to be doing right now, because when you're positioned for this, then, you could do it from anywhere. Who doesn't want that? I love doing online courses. And so that's something that I get to do everywhere and online too. So if you are thinking of getting started with some kind of training or coaching or anything like that, then this is for you here with Jason. So I would love you, Jason, why don't you take just a quick minute and introduce yourself, and then we'll just dive right in.
Sure, yeah. So I got certified as a trainer about 3 years ago. And one of my goals was actually to do live workouts, kind of like they used to do in the 90s on TV.
Yeah.
So
Jane Fonda.
I started looking into technology around how to do live group workouts for people. And I know everyone was using Zoom, but I've worked for Fortune 500 companies where they're like, Zoom is a security risk, don't use it. Mm-hmm. So I found out Google was doing something with Google Meet, which they've actually rolled out to everybody now for free, just via the Gmail. There's a little button on the side that says Start Meeting. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, cool. So I actually was able to charge money with fitness clients who would follow along in their living rooms, on their televisions, doing the routines with me live, which was super fun and super awesome, and let me reach people all over the States.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And what's really neat here too, Jason, because he's kind of a techie guy also, it's always nice to have that, isn't it? Because I'm techie. It's always nice to have that. But you also were able to set this up so you can take us through a walkthrough, a live demo here for everybody. So if you want to know how to do this step by step, we're actually going to go through that here in just a moment. So who can do this? Is it hard? We're techie, but can somebody do this if they're pretty new? Is it a lot of steps? Is it difficult? What kind of hardware or software do I need to be able to do virtual coaching or training on the internet?
I mean, you can literally do it just with a smartphone.
Awesome.
You can just download the Google Meet app on your phone, mm-hmm. and you can use PayPal or any sort of payment processor if you want to charge money for it. You can set up recurring meetings in Google Calendar. It has a button that's like set up virtual meeting, and I mean, you're good to go. So literally all you need is a smartphone.
Wow, and a lot of people have those. So, and then smartphone always has a camera on it, but you could use a laptop with a webcam if it has one built in, or even buy a little webcam, probably, right?
Correct. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, would everyone need a Google account that's also doing this, or do you, as the coach and trainer, do you have the Google account, and do they have to have one too?
So actually, yeah, it's the coach has to have a Google account, but it's free and you can set one up super quick. One of my clients was using, I believe, Hotmail, and he had me on his Apple TV, so he had no Google services and was still able to utilize training with me in his living room.
That's really neat. That's neat. So what kind of, talk to us about the training you do. You can tell people at the end how to get a hold of you if they're interested, but you do it live, like in front of the camera, and do you set things up like a little studio, or you just go on the fly? How do you do it?
So I run 4-week and 6-week boot camps. Uh-huh. It's around shadow boxing, so it's punching and kicking in the air. Uh-huh. So I give people a demo of what we were going to be doing for 3 minutes, and then we all together would be just walking around like punching and kicking and just having fun and You take your break, you get a quick sip of water, and then we'd go for another couple rounds. And I'd always end with an ab routine. So I'd turn on a timer in the meeting room. So I'd present like I was doing a spreadsheet presentation or PowerPoint.
Mhm.
And I mean, they could follow along with the timer. They know exactly how much time is left. And yeah, I mean, it was a super easy way to just keep everybody going. And also you have the accountability factor of you're in a live thing. You have other people moving and working with you.
Mm-hmm. Do the other people, can they see each other?
Yes, everybody can see everybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to give a quick welcome to some of our folks here today, and I'm so excited that you're all here. I see you watching on Facebook and on YouTube Live. Great. And let's see. Christy says, I had no idea that Google offered this. How cool is that, right? And we have Raylyn. Raylyn says, this is a fantastic idea. Thank you for sharing this, Jason. So yeah, they're watching. So I welcome you who are watching on YouTube Live at this moment and those who are watching on Facebook. If you're watching this replay at a later time, we're welcoming to you too as well. So who could do this, Jason? If I'm brand new, maybe I'm becoming a coach. It could be a coach in anything, right? Because I do a little bit of coaching in my own personal business, which happens to be publishing. But if you're a coach, maybe in leadership or, any kind of thing, any kind of coach where they're any communication type of coaching could be using Google for free to do this process that you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, so I actually met up with a guy. His name's Kurt, and he's based in St. Louis. He actually uses the G Suite paid version. But I mean, he was reaching out to like piano players. So they were doing live piano bars via the Google Meet. And I mean, people were giving virtual tips to change the songs. And there's all sorts of coaches. And I mean, you can use this for anything.
Did you mean like virtual suites, like a paid version? How much is the paid version? Do you know?
I don't know how much G Suite is. It varies depending on if you're like a educational company or business. But I know
when you
paid version, sorry.
Go ahead. There's a little delay there. I'm sorry. Go continue.
The paid version lets you do 250 people at one time and you can record.
Wow.
And then the free version is 100 people at one time, but you cannot record is the only limitation of the paid or the free version.
So you wouldn't be able to like download the recording or post it to somewhere else online?
Not the free version.
Not the free version. When you said tip, I want to back up a minute. Do you mean tip as monetary?
Yes.
Well, so then that's a way to make money on the internet right there. Yep. Cool. And I think when we were talking a week or two, a couple of interviews previously with Kat, she was talking about on TikTok, how now TikTok, which is a social media platform, how content creators there are able to, people like click for a tip there where they would make some money. So that's really neat that you could do that on Google too. I had no idea. Really cool. Really cool.
You just need like set up PayPal on the side or something. And while you're playing the piano, people can start giving you tips via PayPal or whatever your type of money transfer system is.
That is so cool. I had no idea you could do that. That's great. Is that connected at all to YouTube, that it would stream on YouTube or anything because Google owns YouTube?
Yeah, I honestly haven't looked into it. I don't see why not.
Maybe the Suite version does that.
Yeah, we've just been using the Google Meet version, but I'm sure there's
more bells and whistles out there. Well, I think what I want to do is go ahead and let you share how it works. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn it over to you to do your presentation on this. So let's go with right there. And why don't you talk to us about what we're seeing right there?
Sure. So this is an actual Google Meet meeting currently going on. I have my webcam is the one my hand's in front of. And then the other two are cell phone cameras that I have set up around the room. And then it's in grid view, so I can see everybody. I can also go in and invite people so that more people can join my meeting. And then I also have an option I made my screen a little too small. I have the option to present. So like I can come in, so for example, my 5-minute abs routine, I go find my Tabata timer, which then lets me share that screen with other people. Let me grab my phone.
I love how you have all these windows up. That's great. Oh, okay.
So yeah, they can see the timer on their side to know when to stop.
That is so awesome. So you can like pull in a PowerPoint presentation as well.
Correct. Yeah, you can present pretty much whatever you wanted. So you can do tabs. So if I stop that, click present, go back to Chrome tab. Let's go to my email. So yeah, it's literally this button right here that says meet for.
Yeah, it's hard to show on there. I'll do a bigger screen and we can see it maybe. Here, go.
Yeah,
let me put a bigger screen there. Now you could show it right here.
let's see.
It's reversed.
Oh. Actually, let me. I'm gonna change what I'm presenting in StreamYard. So let's stop that. Stop that. Share screen.
Yeah, I don't see it. There it is.
There we go. So yeah, I mean, you literally just click the start a meeting button, and it'll let you start your meeting.
Right from your Gmail?
Right from your Gmail. So I'm literally just in my Gmail. Here's my Gmail emails.
And
you can either start a meeting.
Right there, huh?
Or join a meeting.
It's just right there in your Gmail. That's so cool.
Yep.
That's all it is just right there. So you just like, yeah, I'm like, oh, it's just right there.
And you can also.
That's awesome.
That one. Share screen.
That is really something.
In Google Calendar, they have this giant Add Google Meet video conferencing button.
In the calendar.
In the calendar.
Nice.
So, I mean, you can invite up to 100 participants with the free version. And I mean, you're good to go. You just type in the names of your guests and your meeting's ready to go.
Wow. Well, thank you for that live presentation. That is just really cool. I mean, who would have thought that you could do it just with a click of a button like that?
Right.
Yeah. And so, like you said, so many people use Zoom, and then Zoom has all these levels. You know, do you want meetings or Zoom meetings, Zoom webinars, all the stuff that goes along with that? And, you know, the cost can really go up high on that. And if somebody's brand new, that's a lot of money to be throwing down, $50 a month or however, you know, depending on what level you come in at on that. So this is a great starting place for people, or even just if you want to, I mean, I can think of a lot of things you can do with this. But I love how you have your gym and your loft there behind you, and you're able to present that to people and help them and see them also, you know, make sure they're doing their routines correctly with their fitness and so on.
Yep.
Can the other person show a share screen, or is it just the presenter can do a share screen?
I assume other people can present. I actually don't know because I've never had anyone try to present to me.
Back to you through it. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's see. We have, Raylan says, wow, the tipping option is amazing and very relevant. Absolutely. That's super is. Yes. What a great tool to be able to do on a free tool, to be able to make money on a free tool online. That is so cool.
I mean, with the tip, just make sure you have another payment option available. So while they're watching the Google Meet, you tell them like, hey, please, if you want to tip me, please send me money via whatever you want to use, Stripe, PayPal, whatever.
Yeah. Or Stripe or PayPal. I know some folks are using Venmo for Kat was using that for TikTok and stuff. But let's see. A question was, I wonder if you could you do maybe there's a co-host option. So maybe there's those kinds of things that are in the paid version, the suite version.
Well, I know group like business companies are using it too to do their virtual meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming you can do it. I've literally never tried to let somebody else present back to me, so I don't know.
This is working great for your business.
Yes.
And then it's easy for you to set up, but it's easy. It looks like it's really easy for your participants and your students. Do you just send them a link? How do they get there?
So the calendar invite version literally sends them an email that says, hey, click this button to join meeting. So they click the button and then they're in the meeting.
Okay, so it's really easy for them to get on as well. That's great. That's really great. Yeah, I love this. Well, give us a few more tips.
Sure.
What are your tech tips or whatever tips, like setting up?
I mean, the most important thing with running a video class or doing anything video wise is always contrast. So like the black shirt against my not very tan skin, or like I've got lights directly above me. So trying to make sure I don't have the light in the shot that's blinding and distracting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taking time before you run something to make sure you've kind of blocked out your shots. Mm-hmm. And you know exactly what the end user is going to see. Mm-hmm. If I'm trying to show, I don't know, footwork, and you can't see my feet, then it's kind of hard to teach a student how to do something with their feet if they can't visually see what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good point. I have that exact same problem you're talking about with the contrast because I'm very fair. And what happens is if I use a dark background, and I have a black backdrop. If I use my dark black backdrop, I totally blend into it. And then I just look like a ghost with it. Yep. And it's just, it looks funny. And then making sure what colors you're wearing. Because if I wear white when I'm on this screen and I have this white background, I look just like a talking head. So that's very, very good advice. And stuff. So what else have you found after running this several times to help streamline it and make the process faster and easier and, less headaches,
I mean, I just have a section set up now in my gym where I know the cameras are going to go. I've measured height wise, so I know exactly where to stand. I know, I was literally rolling out of bed, walking into the gym, sticking my camera into the mount, and then I'd start class because I just dialed everything into the point I knew exactly where to be and how to light it and all that kind of stuff. So setup is very, very important.
Yes, that was one of my business coaches had said that one time to me was, if you have that spot that's all set up, then you're always ready to go with it. But if I have to go on today, I'm going live at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is what we do here in our group. And then I know at 10 o'clock, I got to go set it up. I got to go put up the backdrops. I need to set my set. I'm more likely to be more successful if I just have a little corner already set up and ready to go. And when she said that, it has made my life so much easier. To be like, okay, this is what's in the frame. I might have a big pile of laundry right over there, right? Or right over here that you can't see, but what you can see is right here, and it looks okay. Yes. So if you're looking to get into a coaching or training business, we had on here Melanie Binger, who helps people become business coaches and helps them develop into that. We've also had, other people on here that talked about online courses too, which was Carmen this last week. So she did a great job on that. So if you were watching those and thinking, hey, I do want to get started with online course, or I want to get started as a coach, and you've watched those, this is a great tool and a resource for you to get started doing that absolutely free. Great. So what would you say as some other good tips? I love those already. Watch your lighting, what you're wearing, and having your set already ready to go. What else?
Just making sure that whenever you're demoing something, you're actually demoing it correctly. I like having the external feedback of the video camera, because sometimes I might even get sloppy with my own form. So just being able to glance up at a camera and being like, oh yeah, if I'm showing someone how to move their arm, I should probably move my arm correctly as well.
So having that video that you can watch simultaneously?
Yep.
Okay. Can I see that already in my Google preview window, or not so much?
So the Google will show you as well as the student, so you can watch yourself. And I mean, it can also help with, I don't know, if you have some weird thing going on in the background, you might be able to catch it in your first coaching video. And then in the future, you know that you need to adjust that. Because I mean, you wouldn't want to stop mid first video and go try to fix something.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about using this for coaching and training. Is this something I could use also for doing webinars?
Yes. Yeah. So it's the free version, I believe, lets you do a 60-minute presentation. And then I don't know what the limit is on the paid version. But I mean, yeah, I think Zoom's free one is what, 45 minutes? So you get an extra 15 minutes.
That's pretty.
Plus, you also have the benefit of Google's actual knowing how to scale video, whereas I think Zoom started crashing people's live streams at one point when everyone was on it.
Can people put text in a chat box while you're presenting and ask questions, or is it video, an audio asking questions?
Yeah, you can. There's a chat option, so people can type questions in there. They also have a captions option. So it actually does machine learning talk to actually, let me share my screen again.
I was just thinking too, while you're doing that, if someone's doing a webinar and at the end of the webinar, they want to provide a link for somebody to go sign up for something, then you as the presenter can put that in the chat box so that people can click on it and go, sign up for your next offer.
Yeah. So yeah, I put www.google.com in the corner.
Oh,
and then
that's neat.
I've also turned on the captions option, so you can either turn off or turn on captions. But it's awesome. Literally translating what I'm saying while I'm talking. So it's using the power of machine learning words to text.
That is super awesome. Oh my gosh. And this is in the free version, huh?
Yes.
Wow. So you can be saying, go to www.whatever and sign up for my next offer, or sign up for the next class or workshop or webinar or training session, just like that. And can they click on that and it takes them to a URL or a link?
The chat, yes.
Nice. That is really cool.
I don't believe they can click on.
But to be able to do that in the chat, that's great.
Yeah, the text piece you can't do clicking on.
Because that's doing it with AI or whatever, right?
Correct, yes.
That's cool. I like how when you're talking, it's just putting it on the screen as you're talking. And you just did that real quick live on the fly like this.
Oh yeah, I just clicked this turn on captions button. And then Google's like, okay, time to translate everything you say.
And there it is. And all of your participants can see that. Wow. How nice is that? And you don't even have to copy and paste something in there. It just
Yeah,
does way cool.
I am definitely a fan of the FANG companies and their abilities to bring all these different technology stacks together and make it super easy for any end user to get into.
Most definitely. Yeah. I always like to tell people that, when you're starting an online business, to make some money with your online business, and then as you're making money, then go invest in higher level things, or if you need to. But you can actually start with something absolutely free like this. You could do coaching and training via a Facebook group, or if you want multiple people to be on here using this Google virtual, is it called virtual meetings, or what's it called?
Just Google Meet.
Google Meet. That's great. How wonderful is that? I love this. All right. Any final tips to share with our audience here, that you've done this lots of times with people all over, maybe some things that have had hangups and what that might be, and let's see. And we said, oh, that closed captioning is amazing. Oh my gosh, isn't it though? Wow. Yes, it is.
The most important part, you will get feedback if somebody's playing the audio through their TV speakers.
Okay.
So get used to hearing yourself like a second or two behind, and don't get hung up by that.
Just ignore it.
Yeah, just keep talking, and like I can actually hear feedback right now in the back of the room from my other camera. So I just ignore it. Or you could mute all the people who are in there. I always let them stay unmuted just so they could ask questions throughout the workout as well. I wanted it to be social, since I was running these classes while everybody was in COVID lockdown. So I wanted it to be personable. And my coaching is always like, hey, we can talk while you're working out, because this is also supposed to be fun. So I didn't want to be militant and be like, no, you're all muted, don't talk until I'm done. So I just let people talk the whole time.
That's really great. My mind is like going with all the things that you could use this for. You're doing a fitness and health class, but this could be if you're doing, a cooking demonstration, or like the leadership or coaching or training of just, any kind out there, maybe gardening. That's out there. Can you take this on the road with you? So since you said there's an app on your phone, you're actually in your studio right now, but can you take this? Let's say I'm outdoors somewhere and I want to do something on the beach, and just take my mobile phone and stick it on a tripod and do it out on location somewhere?
Yeah, so I literally went on, I think it was like Wish, and I just bought a tripod with a little, I don't know what, $10 phone mount. So yeah, you can take wherever your phone has signal, you can run a class. All you need is Wi-Fi or cell phone service. And you could even just walk around with your phone like in your hand. There we go.
Okay. It's
talking to the phone as you're going.
Well, isn't that great? I love it. All right. Any final tips before we wrap up?
I guess just take advantage of everything Google has to offer. You can always go into your Google Drive as well and use their form system too if you want to check in with people. If you're asking too many medical questions, you'd probably get into trouble. You can send like feedback forms, like what did you think of this routine? What would you like to see next? And send those. You can run feedback forms, intake forms, whatever you want with Google Drive's forms, and then turn around and use their calendaring system and their video system to run whatever your live online video business is.
That's brilliant. Wow. Absolutely brilliant. Great. All right. Well, as we finish up, tell us lastly, can anybody do this? Anybody who's brand new?
Yeah. You literally just need a phone and a Google account.
Phone and a Google account, and that's it. And who doesn't have that? It's free to have a Google account, and most of us have a phone. I love it. Thank you. I'm going to check one last time for any final questions here. and then we'll wrap up. I see you all on Facebook. Thank you. Thank you, Mariah, for the heart, love, and thumbs up. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And, if you're watching this video and thinking, hey, this is a great way I can make money either by presenting wonderful content out there to my audience and use, excuse me, and use the tipping option to make money, or provide links so that people can sign up for additional offers that you have, or running webinars. We just talked about so many different things here. It's yeah, my mind's whirling. So many great ideas. Share this video with them. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe to this channel. Even click the little bell icon so that you get notified when new videos are available. If you're watching on Facebook, please share this video with someone you think might be interested, or tag them and give us a thumbs up and a like. Appreciate that so much. And then Jason, if you're open later on, if anybody posts any additional questions that we haven't answered already, feel free to post those, and we'll try and get in there and answer them for you too. And we have, oh, how sweet. We have, yes, Raylyn says, thank you so much. Oh, you're very welcome. We're so happy to have you here today, and all the others that are watching. We're excited that you're here. And thank you so much, Jason, for being a part of it. Any last words?
No, I mean, if you want to get a hold of me, I should be fairly easy to find on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. Feel free. Yeah. If somebody wants to reach out to you, and let's say somebody's also interested in your business, which is health and fitness, how do they get a hold of you?
So my website is getbackintofitness.com. And through that, thank you. I've got, you can book with me through my booking app directly on the website for either live if you're in the Portland area, or I do the boot camps via telephone, or I can also coach you via telephone, or I can even just write routines to you, email them to you through an app, and then you do them, and then I check in with you. So there's a bunch of different ways to work with me, whatever fits.
But just go to getbackintofitness.com.
Yes.
I love that name. That's awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. And go out there, folks, and make some money, and then go do some good in the world with it. We will see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.